Welcome to Chalk Talk. We're going to step away from how we've done this traditionally, and today we're doing it a little differently. I've got a familiar face joining me today, and high school principal Chris LeGrande. And then what's going to be a little different today is we have two highly esteemed Guthrie High School students that are going to be joining us. We have Lucas Beaver and Lauren Taylor that are going to be joining us. They're both seniors at Guthrie High School. Guys, welcome to Chalk Talk, and we're gonna have a lot of fun over the next few minutes talking a little bit about you guys, let you introduce yourselves, and talk a little bit about what it's like to be a senior at Guthrie High School. So first of all, let's introduce yourselves to the listeners. So Lauren, let's start with you. Talk a little bit about yourself and tell us who you are.
Well, like you said, I'm Lauren Taylor, senior at Guthrie High School. Some things I'm involved in, I'm the senior class president. I am involved with FCA. Over the summer, I got the opportunity to go to Girls State. I am in Blue Jay Crew, Math Club, which is also known as Mu Alpha Theta, and I play varsity tennis.
Great. Okay, Lucas.
I'm Lucas Beaver. I'm senior at Guthrie High School, graduate, class of 2023, best class. Let's see, I also play varsity tennis. I've been playing for 6 years. I'm also in Mu Alpha Theta, Math Club. Let's see. I'm not as interesting. I don't have as much as her. She's got more on me.
So we're being invaded by the tennis team is what I'm gathering here with all this. Okay. Well, great. Well, I'm so happy to have you guys with us and joining us with Principal Chris LeGrande. And let's talk a little bit about your plans after high school. That's what I always like to talk to seniors about. What's next for you guys? Lauren?
I would like to go into nursing school. I haven't decided on my college yet, but OSU is really where my heart's at.
Great choice.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So.
Two OSU alum here. So
yeah. Go folks.
Yeah, exactly.
And Lucas, what's next for you?
So my plan is to go to EOC in Choctaw for their fire academy. That's my plan.
And Oklahoma State has a great fire protection program too, as well. So just remember, if you're go Pokes if you want to.
Yeah, the people who teach the class at EOC are like really renowned firefighters, so you get jobs out of there really well. Yeah,
that's a well-known program. I've heard about it for years. Our chief, Eric Harlow, I believe, has at times been a guest instructor there. Heard a lot of great things about that program. I know it'll be an awesome experience for you if that's your goal. And I think I always view our goal is to get you to your goal. And I know that Mr. LeGrande and I both feel that way, and that's something that we always try to make sure that we provide what we can to let you succeed. And that's why I'm so happy to have you guys here today. So let's talk a little bit about what it's like to be a student, a senior at Guthrie High School.
Well, it honestly feels like just yesterday I was in like kindergarten. Like it definitely goes a lot faster than you think it does. It kind of feels unreal too. Like it's already almost after, like October's almost over. Like it's going by so much faster than I thought. I'm already taking graduation pictures and stuff. I gotta order a cap and gown now. Like it's going
it's
by
getting real, isn't it?
But it's definitely cool. It's been the best year by far. It just getting to figure out what you want to do, getting to talk to so many different people about what you want to do, tour colleges, even like applying for scholarships and stuff, which takes so much effort with all the essays and stuff. But it's fun. It feels like you're really moving up. It feels like you're finally gonna do something.
That's great.
Something else is it's such a weird feeling. Like you've grown up with these people your entire life and you see them every day, and now you're about to move on to your next stage of life without them. And it's kind of a weird feeling, but we're so lucky to have such awesome classmates and get to grow up with them. So
one of the things that I think is great about Guthrie and the size of school that we have, Chris is a graduate of Guthrie High School. I graduated from Stillwater. Not that different in size, at least at the time that I was there. But the thing and the reason that I have never wanted to work in a mega district, really large district, multi-high school and stuff like that, the thing that sets us apart is on graduation night, you guys are going to know people on both sides of you waiting to go get your diploma. You're going to know those people. If you're at a larger high school, let's say you've got 1,000 in your class, like one of those Tulsa schools, I won't mention them or anything like that, you may not know half the people in your graduating class. And I think that's one of the great things that we have going for us in Guthrie. And you guys, I think you guys would agree with that. That's because you just it's a togetherness thing, and I think that's something that I'm really happy to hear you guys say that as well. So let's talk a little bit about your best memory of being a student at Guthrie High School.
My best memories would definitely have to come from all the extracurricular activities I'm in. Like at tennis, going to tournaments and the overnight tournaments, and just getting to bond with your team. And with student council, you're always building your leadership with those people, and going to state and networking and meeting so many new people. Definitely have brought some very good memories.
That's great.
So I think what I would say is just all the staff, all the faculty, everyone is just so friendly, I feel. I mean, it is everywhere I go down the hallway, all the other teachers and stuff are always asking, like, hey, how you doing and stuff, and it's just, it's awesome. Like, I mean, I'm an office aide, and Mr. LeGrande probably always hears my voice in there talking. I'm just always talking to people. And I bet it gets very annoying, and I'm sorry.
Well, that's one of the reasons I chose Lucas, because I knew he has a very good presence about himself, and he does love to talk. But he is a great representative of Guthrie High School, that's for sure.
So I think my favorite memory is just being able to meet all the people from Guthrie, and all of us kind of share the same thing. We all grew up in this small town, or are now part of the small town community, and it's no one would want anything different.
That's awesome. Well, I want you to finish this sentence for me. Guthrie High School is...
Where some of my best memories came from.
Okay.
I would say Guthrie High School is like another home. I mean, I spend most of my day there and all that, so I'd say it's like another home.
That's good stuff.
It's where your family's at.
Yeah, well, and what I was going to say too is it's a place where we prepare you to be college or career ready, and we provide you with those opportunities, and it's up to you to take advantage of those. And obviously, both of you have done a wonderful job of taking advantage of the opportunities that have been laid out in front of you and presented by the faculty and staff and all the extracurricular activities at Guthrie High School. And I say it all the time. That's probably, as the principal, the thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that we offer such a variety and array of activities for kids to find their niche and to excel. And very proudly, all of our extracurricular activities exceed on a very high level, not only at the local but at the statewide level. And so that I'm very appreciative and very thankful.
People make the difference, and it's the people that we have working with them, and then the students that we have that are going to be high achievers. And let's turn to community a little bit, because you guys kind of touched on this a little bit, and you've lived here most or all of your lives. But you've been to other communities, and you've got friends, I'm sure, in other school districts. If you competed in tennis and some things like that, I'm sure you developed some friends from other school districts. What makes our community special? What sets us apart from other places?
So I work downtown at Pollard's. I make the jerky and stuff. And one thing I always notice is people from all other the shops and everywhere around Guthrie come in there, and it's like everyone's friends. It's like everywhere you go, you're going to know someone. Even when I go to Walmart with my dad, it's like he's running into like 5 people that he went to high school with. And, I got to do the interaction. It's like, oh, this is my kid. And, and he's like, oh, I held you as a baby, even though I don't even know who they are, stuff like that. So I just think you run into everyone that you know. Like, a lot of people tend not to leave.
I agree with Lucas. I mean, it's just everywhere you go, you know someone. And I feel like with these other big schools, like you said, you definitely don't have that feeling as much, and so that's definitely a thing I love about Guthrie.
Well, and what I was going to say too, Dr. Simpson, is the fact that lived here for such a long time, in most of my life, other than when I went to Oklahoma State for college, you do get to know people and you develop relationships with people. And as an administrator, it's easy when I pick up the phone and I have to have a difficult conversation with a parent, because oftentimes I will have either coached or taught that parent or a relative or someone in that family, and they have that element of trust, and they really believe that what you're doing is in the best interest of their child. So I think that's an added advantage of a small community as well.
Well, and I think, we've talked about this before. You're a parent in this district, just like I am too. Our kids go to school in the school district, and so we see those parents sometimes in the role as when you attend something as a parent, and you talk more as a parent than a principal, just like I do as a parent as well. Guys, tell me, who's made a difference in your life up to this point?
I don't know if I could pick just one person, but definitely the teachers. Really any teacher that I've built a connection with, and they've helped me through scholarships and applications and life, and so that's something I'm really grateful for. And with my mom also being a teacher in the school district, I see the other side of it too, where they're getting to build connections with students and what that means to them, and so I think it's something our teachers are really good at and something I really appreciate.
I'd have to agree with her 100%. I mean, like I said, I think like of my teachers as friends. I mean, I can go talk to them about anything, and they've definitely guided me the most out of anyone else.
Let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to March of 2020. The spring break that never ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about what that was like for you guys.
Well,
because you guys were in the middle of tennis season too.
Yeah.
We got like one tournament and then it was cut off, and so
And that tournament was really cold too. I did not play good. I remember that. Man, it kind of feels unreal. And there's one thing I do take away from it. Every time since then that it's been summer, they felt so short compared to that, because that part was very nice. But it's weird. It's like a complete gap in your brain. Like when I think of my tennis season, like she said, I mean, I forget about it. Like I'll be sitting like, oh, I did this. And then I'll start being like, oh, because it was sophomore year, right? Yeah. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, sophomore year tennis. I think, oh, wait, we didn't play. Like, oh, wait, we did not have school. So, it's weird. It's like a big gap. I don't really remember much of it.
It kind of brings back, some sadness. Like you missed out on so much in just a short, almost a semester. And so it feels like high school has gone by even faster just with missing that. And so, yeah, I feel a little sad about that.
And then the next year, where we had quarantines and we had masks, we didn't have masks. We were in school. A lot of schools were not in school, or they were on an A/B schedule. What was that like for you guys?
It was definitely an adjustment. It was weird to get all these assignments online and have to learn how to submit them differently. And you go to class and you're on a computer anymore. You don't have pencil and paper. And so, yeah, it's definitely weird trying to figure out the mix with that. And seeing your friends in masks, it's just like sometimes you can't even recognize who they are. And that was definitely a weird thing that was very hard to adjust to.
Yeah, I think the hardest part was you never knew if you were going to be quarantined or not. You just kind of went to school and then randomly get called in the office, hey, you got to go home for like a week. And so you're like, oh, not again. And it became routine. There was times where like every week there'd be like 50, like hundreds of kids getting sent out. And then one week it was totally fine, everything was good, and the next week it was just so unpredictable. You never had a set schedule. You never knew if if you're going to be at school, if you're not going to be at school.
And then with the quarantines, you're missing out on some big activities that you like. Yeah. I could be planning an activity and I get quarantined, and then what? So it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, and it affects sports pretty hard too. Like if one person on the team got COVID, what are you going to do there?
Right. Well, and what I was going to say too is, Lucas, actually, that was when you guys were freshmen, because I've mentioned this several times. This graduating class is what I'd call the COVID class, because you didn't finish the spring of your freshman year. Your sophomore year was all the quarantines, and then, as you guys can probably attest to, your junior year, we had all these people that came back from all the virtual schools, because we had a lot of students that went online during that time, but we got a lot of those students back, and it was like they had to readjust to what life was like in a structured environment where you actually have rules and regulations, and you have to get up and be on time and go to certain classes at a specific time, and they weren't used to doing that. So really, in your high school career, this is your first, what I would call, normal year of high school, if you think about it.
Yeah. No ice storms yet, too, so.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, that's true.
So far, we're doing good.
Yeah.
So what'd you take out of all that experience?
Don't take school for granted and seeing your favorite classmates every day, because in quarantine you couldn't do that, and then you're just with your family.
I definitely had to readjust. I definitely learned that if you take a long time off, you're going to be really lazy. Well, maybe not everyone, but I definitely was. I learned to procrastinate really bad. So I learned that you kind of just have to adjust to your situations better.
One of the things that I think this senior class can look back on is, I think you guys have probably gotten more resilience out of your school experience than any group that I can ever think of. Because, you in junior high, we had the teacher walk out. You guys have lived through a pandemic, and you've then found what the new normal is, and you mentioned Lauren not taking it for granted. I think that's something that I think you guys are going to walk out here with some experiences that are really pretty unique, that a lot of the people that went before you did not get, and I think it's probably made you better people for it, but that doesn't mean it was a whole lot of fun going through it all, without a doubt. I know that Mr. LeGrande and I have talked, I don't know how many times, about trying to provide normal and trying to balance that with what we knew of the best of safety at the time, and trying to do what's right to make sure that we're providing for you guys. And it's been certainly been an adventure, without a doubt.
For sure.
It's very unpredictable, like I said.
Yeah. And I think too, one thing that we learned, just that we could make things work with the technology that we have available, because who would have thought that we could have just transitioned to where, okay, well, I'm sent home now, I can get online, get on Google Classroom, and I can access my assignments, and I can carry on the best of my ability. But before that really wasn't an option or a possibility, and as a result, we have more options now, because we actually have the ability for students, if they want a smaller environment or a virtual setting, we offer that as well. So, like Dr. Simpson said, I just think that's so important, just the resiliency and the lessons that you learn, because in life, that's what you're going to learn as you become adults and you mature into adulthood, is that things don't always go your way, and you get knocked down, but you have to get back up, and you have to figure out a way, and you got to roll up your sleeves and make things happen. And I think, like, just to pigtail on what he said, that's that resilience that I think that it's going to carry you into adulthood, and you may not even realize it now.
Yeah, and I think it also helps with, so I take concurrent classes, and so when we brought in, your assignments are on Google Classroom, you got to get out of your bed and you got to do them. I think that kind of helped me now, too. It kind of does prepare you for college a little bit, because that's how college is, It's all on you, they're not going to hold your hand. You wake up, your assignments are posted. It's up to you if you're going to get them done, so. Yeah,
and the Mr. LeGrande and I both were at Oklahoma State at the same time, and the thing that I remember about that experience is, for the first time in your life, the instructor doesn't care if you show up or not. It's all on you, and that's a lot of pressure when if you're not ready for it, and especially when that my freshman year, I had 7:30s 5 days a week, 7:30 a.m. classes, and so those those challenges, it can be real easy to sleep in if you want to, and you know that in the end, that's probably not going to be the best for the grade you're looking for. All right, let's turn back to GHS a little bit and finish this sentence. If I could change one thing at GHS, it would be.
One thing I would change has to do with tennis. I would love if we had a full 8 courts, then we could host the tournament. There's so many people from the community who are always asking, when's your next tournament? When can I come watch? Where is it? And you tell them it's in the city, and they're like, oh, well, then I'm going to have to take off work. And so I think it'd be really cool if it was at home where we could pull a lot of the community to come watch us.
Yeah, I think I agree with her. I like that. I thought it would always be nice. We'd have maybe a little bit more support in tennis if it was here, get more people to come out. But I think that goes for like a lot of sports too that may not get appreciated as much. I feel like all of them, I would just like if more people showed support for all of them. We get more people.
Mary Hudson put you up to this?
No, she did not.
She didn't.
She didn't know you were going to ask that question, so that's actually a great response.
Yeah, and I that's something that I was a golfer but I was also a basketball person and I was an athletic director and I coached. I know the value of extracurriculars and it doesn't matter which one you are, even the ag, choir, all that stuff. This community got so far behind with facilities that it was, when I got here 11 years ago, it was kind of like, where do you start? And, I think we're making progress, but the things that you guys share, it makes me want to work even harder to try and provide for what we need. And that's, I remember when Mary came to me and wanted some help on resurfacing tennis courts when the last time we did it. And I said, Mary, we don't have any money to do that. And so what'd she do? She went out and she raised the money.
Yeah.
And, that's something that it's kind of like how we were dealing with COVID. It just became we'll figure it out, whatever it takes. And that's one of the great things I think about this community is that's how we approach everything. Okay, so now turning the tide a little bit here, what is something that should never change about GHS?
I mean, I would definitely say the staff and faculty that you guys keep hiring. Like you guys they've all been great. Like I don't think we've ever really had bad teachers, bad experiences with teachers. All mine have been pleasant. So y'all are obviously doing something right. You're finding the right people. So don't change that.
I would say the feeling of family, like a close community. You're always close with everyone, and I know I've said that a few times, but that's something I would never change.
I think the way we create that culture in our district is some of it is because we're not a huge district. It's easy to remain a family, and when I walk through Walmart, I know a bunch of people, and I didn't grow up here, but I can't walk through Walmart without talking to somebody too. And I think that's something that's special, but I think it translates into what the experience that you guys get to enjoy as students. And I think that's something that I agree with you guys on. Okay, so now I'm gonna throw this out for the real dangerous one. What would you like to ask? Is there any questions you would like to ask the principal or the superintendent?
I have one about graduation.
Okay.
I know it's kind of in the future and stuff, but do you think we'll graduate at the Rock this year or the Lazy E?
My preference is the Lazy E. That's where I want to go. We've got to wait till they get all their scheduling done and things like that. And here's why. I know that there's a lot of attachment to the Rock, but there's also a good chance for thunderstorms in the month of May. I know rain seems like forever. In fact, the last time we got rain, I think, was in May.
Yeah.
But what I don't want to ever have happen is a scenario where we had to go into the gym and you guys got 2 tickets. And So trading the Rock for the Lazy E to take away the option of having to limit you guys to 2 tickets for graduation, to me, is something that I know that Mr. LeGrande and I have talked length multiple times about, and we don't want to ever have to do that, if at all possible. And in a previous district that I was in, we had to do that once. And it was a larger school district with a larger gym, but everybody got 3 tickets, and it was awful, you know. And I don't want that, because I want you guys to be able to look back on your high school life and have those memories, and graduation's a special night for that. That's right. Now tell me what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Weather's very unpredictable. We can never truly. So I think that's because I already plan on when I graduate. I mean, I'm gonna get as many family and people I can get there. It's got to get loud, you know. Come on, Lucas Beaver's graduating. My hair's gonna look good. I mean, so I see that point of it. It would suck if like my mom, dad, and sister had to go. I mean, it'd still be awesome, but I see the point of that.
Well, and I was going to mention too, and Dr. Simpson and I have had a lot of conversations about this very thing. I've had 2 of my children graduated at the Rock, and my youngest, Trinity, graduated last year at the Lazy E. So I've seen both sides of it, and we've talked about the fact that it's nice to schedule it and know that it's going to be on that particular day, because we've done it in the past, and it's been several years ago, but it was raining on Friday, so we would have it on Saturday, and then that runs into problems because people are flying in, they're driving in, and then it becomes a little bit of unpredictability there. And to be able to just say for sure, whether or not the weather's good, bad, or indifferent, we're graduating on this night at this particular time, I think people like that and appreciate that, and when you look at it from a big picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's a great question, Lucas.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Lauren?
I agree with everything you guys said. I think it's just going to be a weird transition, something that we're going to have to let go of. But I fully understand why, and you guys have valid points. So, yeah.
No matter what, I'm graduating. So,
Yeah. That's true.
Hopefully.
Still got some work to do.
Yeah,
but you know, don't.
Mr. LeGrande could expel me.
So any other questions? What else?
What do you see within like the next 5 years with improvements of athletics?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think we've made a lot of improvements in the gym, and we're still trying to get through the construction phase on that. We've made some improvements to the junior high gym. We're going to add some things to support volleyball, because we're going to probably look at volleyball, moving that, also offer that at the high school.
That'd be great.
And so there's some infrastructure that we've got to do there. Long term, we've got some ideas on what potentially we could do at the practice field to better support. That field gets used so much, and we would like to turf that, because what that does is that really makes that more of an outdoor classroom. And until you've had a field with turf on it, you don't realize how much more usable it is, not just for football and soccer and track, but PE classes at Guess and things like that, where you're not worried about wearing out the grass. Continue to improve the things that the community feels like we need to support. The real challenge on what we need to improve is, where are we going to grow? And, guys, there's over 800 homes that are planned for inside the city limits of Guthrie right now that aren't built. And if those were all built tomorrow, they're going to come with kids, and we don't have room for them. And so the thing that we have to look at is, what are our priorities going to be? And, we're going to have to look at another bond issue before long to probably address, we got Cotterell, we're going to rebuild it. We've got to probably look at some things to address the other two elementaries, and then continue to do some things at the high school. You know, this whole year, you guys are getting ready to have disruptions at the high school, because we're going to start once we get the gym lobby done, all of those restrooms, we're going to shut one restroom down, start working on it, then get that one done, then go to another one. And, you know, you guys will have all that fun going on. But, you know, we're committed to trying to bring our facilities where they need to be. That's not just the school buildings, but also the athletic facilities. And we've done a whole bunch of work. We got a lot more to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say too, Dr. Simpson, you mentioned the turf and the band. That would just be another place for them to be able to practice. And if you've been back there in the morning like I have, buses are coming in and out, and people and cars, and so to be able to get them up there on a full field and not have to worry about, well, it rained the night before and the grass it's going to be muddy up there now, that would be beautiful for them too. And I know they would be very much appreciative as well.
Yeah, I mean, it help out soccer too.
Yeah,
it's soccer. Football coaches really don't like soccer on their practice field.
Yeah, well,
soccer coaches really don't like to play on dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and so that's just a balance, and that field gets so much use, and it could actually get a lot more use and a lot more student activities on it if we had turf. That's something we've really been kicking around, but trying to get all of the pieces. It's a jigsaw puzzle. You got to put all those pieces together to try and get it to work out, and then get ready, because not everybody's going to be happy.
Right.
Anything else?
My next question was, I was going to ask about volleyball, but you kind of already answered that.
Yeah.
So
That's our goal. We want to do that, and that's something that Guthrie was right on the. We were kind of right on the line of whether or not we were big enough to have volleyball and have interest there, and so we wanted to make sure we had the interest there. And you know, we're really good in softball. We're really good in cross country. We didn't want to hurt those programs by adding another one and watering down, because we've had so much excellence in those other two programs with our female athletes. And, you know, we got to a point where we felt like there was enough interest and enough support. And we didn't, you know, if you start this at the high school level first and not the junior high, and you go up against some really storied programs with a program that's trying to start, and you don't have any success, then the interest can wane, and then it doesn't sustain itself. And so that's why we did this intentionally with the junior high program, and look to as those students progress on, provide that opportunity for them.
And I think actually volleyball is a good sport that a lot of people can pick up and play. Mm-hmm. Like we just had the Pink Week volleyball tournament, and my team did actually win.
Oh, okay.
But no, you saw,
because you had the best server.
Yeah, and that's what it was. There was kids, like we'd go up against kids, and there was people on my team and stuff too that you would be surprised. You were like, oh wow, like they're actually really good. Like it could be an actual potential sport for them, and they can so. You see a lot of people out there and just playing the sport. They've never really played other than probably like with friends or family and stuff. But like you see it and you're like, wow, I think that actually could be molded into something. So I think volleyball would be a really good addition to the high school and just the district.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So that's in our plans.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to ask us while you got us here?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as soon as we leave and walk out the door, you'll say, Mr. Grant, I was going to ask you this, but I didn't want to do it on the air.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to do that. And,
well, thank you.
I really appreciate you guys taking time away from class to come down here, and we get you out of class. And Lucas, you had to miss nothing, but you'll enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
I had to get up a little extra early.
Well, that's good. That's discipline for you. Guys, I really appreciate how you represent Guthrie High School and Guthrie as a whole, and can't say enough about the work that you guys are doing, and wish you nothing but the best going through the rest of your senior year. Enjoy it, because as you said, it's going fast.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. Yep.
Well, I think we've come to a close on Chalk Talk for this time. I really appreciate our guests, Lucas Beaver, Lauren Taylor, and Chris LeGrande. And so thank you very much for being here, and we look forward to the more continued success that you're going to have. For Lucas Beaver, Lauren Taylor, Chris LeGrande, I'm Mike Simpson. Thanks for joining us on Chalk Talk.